Hi, friends. Welcome to 5-Day Thrive. Today is day number 4. Yay! We're about three quarters there so far. So, if you're watching this series and you know that 5-Day Thrive is a series we do for 5 days every month, 5 o'clock Eastern on Monday to Friday. And the idea is very simple. These are actually strategies we teach to our community, Success Circles. Success Circles is a peer coaching community we started 14 years ago. It's been a long time. And the idea is that every game, every sport has a huddle. So as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a coach, you deserve a huddle too as well. That's the start of Success Circles. We've launched all these momentum programs since. And it's just about making progress every day, moving the needle forward every day. And seeing your goals come alive, realizing that by making 1% progress every day, that 1% can add up quite a bit over time to maybe 300%, maybe 1,000%, depending on how much you play out each day. And life is a game, so it's about playing, so we dare you to play your game. So today's lesson is about living courageously and making bold, courageous requests. So if you've been watching the series, Monday was owning your why, maximize your energy. Day 2 is power focus. Day 3 is about breakthrough systems, automate your life for success. Day 4 is today. Day 4 is about living boldly. So what does that mean? So it's about being courageous every step of the way, or whatever you can. Realizing that the more courageous you can be, the more the more you embrace courage in terms of growing your business, maybe making a request of your team, perhaps, maybe and how you show, maybe doing some public speaking. So I do public speaking, getting on stage. For most people, they have more fear of, they have a greater fear of being on stage in front of people than being in a casket, right? It's scary, but it's true. And it's a book that I read decades ago called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." And that's what this is all about. It's about feeling the fear and taking action, because life will reward you. The risk takers, the action takers in life are the ones who get rewarded, whether it means immeasurable wealth, whether it means being in the most passionate relationship you can imagine, whether it means having an incredibly diesel body, if that's important to you. Whatever your goals are, whatever your values are, there's an opportunity to level up. And it's just, by being a little more courageous each day, being more on your edge. So in Success Circles, one thing our members ask each other on, a so often basis, it's about the power of questions. So one question we ask members is, how can you be a little bit more on your edge today? How can you be a little more courageous today? And for me, I attended an event a little while ago, and I declared to my buddy earlier that I would share about Success Circles to two people there at the event, and I did. And without making that declaration, without putting it out there, without sharing that, I probably wouldn't have. And it's when you make those points of those bold actions on a regular basis, amazing things happen, right? And this is all about reaching dreams. It's about getting to where you want to be and enjoying the process as you get there. And that's comes down to being bold. So some years ago, 7 years ago, I was coaching a program, and the program was a 90-day program, and we had 35 coaches in the program. I was a head coach, and I was asked to create a framework to hold the coaches accountable on making these bold, unreasonable requests. And I put together this framework. We basically use this app, and on this app, we would share each day what bold requests we were making, how we were living boldly, and also the result, the outcome of that. And what happened is, over the course of days, weeks of people doing this, one coach would get on a flight and she would request a free upgrade from second class to first class. And she got it, right? She celebrated that and she shared the result of that. Then it would inspire someone else to now go and ask for a raise at their job that they had, that they're running. And that would now inspire someone else to now level up their business and start charging more for their clients. And that inspired another coach to go out and talk to a stranger about going on a date or hanging out. That would inspire someone else to propose to their girlfriend for some time. And it would just create this ripple effect where we're all in motion, inspired to level up And it takes that, it takes a mastermind, it takes a community of sorts to do that. So inspired by that, we started a community, a 90-day accelerator program that encompasses that, being courageous, and more. We call it the 90-day momentum team. If you go to momentum.team, you can learn more. We've launched 20 of these so far. It's every quarter we launch them, and we play a game called the 90-day year. And it's about what if you could bend time and accomplish 4 times as much as you would typically do over the course of a day, and particularly in 1 or 2 areas of life. So it could be your business, it could be showing the growth of your business 4 times, and noticing that level of growth happen throughout. And we support you with referrals, and we'll support you in kind of time management skills and resources. We have a process where we invite you to share regularly. Members of our community who've done it, who've succeeded, they provide you feedback on taking further steps. It's a whole peer-based community. Most of us are coaches, leaders, entrepreneurs. So, and I share that because the core of it, it all started out with this principle of making bold, unreasonable requests on a regular basis. And it's evolved since then. So, we've all got ceilings on top of ourselves. I've got a ceiling here. It's not imaginary. There's a ceiling there. However, when it comes to wealth, when it comes to building a business, when it comes to passion in relationships, most people have this imaginary ceiling that they built at a young age. Typically, our beliefs are formed, core beliefs are formed between the ages of 3 and 5. So before the age of 5, most of our beliefs on what's possible are there. They're set in place by our parents. And it could be as such as at a young age, your parents might tell you that don't talk to strangers. Do not talk to strangers. And of course, it's so important because, of course, they can get kidnapped, right? But if you go through life not having that core belief, like I can't talk to strangers, then when it comes down to expanding your circle of friends, it comes down to maybe approaching someone for a relationship, you're going to say, no, I can't. Internally, there's this inner dialogue that says, I can't talk. It'll stay away. And it's important to realize that, that's important not to get kidnapped when you're 5 years old, but as you get older, talking to strangers could be a good thing. And that goes for any area of life too. It could be a matter of, wealth, perhaps. You may have a thermostat that says that you're only worth $35,000 per year, whereas peers around you are able to do 5, 10 times that, maybe 100,000 a year, maybe $1 million per year. And I find that one of the truths out there in masterminds is that there's this energy when you're around multiple people playing at a high game where they're willing to let go of their ceiling. What happens is that as that happens, they give you permission, or you give yourself permission to let go of your ceiling too. So you find yourself generating higher levels of revenue, having more passion, because you're around people who exhibit that behavior. It's like osmosis. We've seen this with success circles over the course of years. As Buddy connects with someone who's a step or two ahead of them, what happens is that their game elevates because they're talking to someone who doesn't have those beliefs, doesn't have those internal, that dialogue around wealth, because you're playing a different game, or perhaps you're on a relationship. And it's just, it's all a story. I want to share something too. So I have 2 kids. So one of the great things about having kids or being around children is that it's so easy to see them make up things all along the way. And it's imperative with kids to have compassion, to close the loops, because if you don't close those loops, those thoughts, those beliefs that start forming, they may solidify over time, right? So it's important to kind of say, Mommy, Daddy, I love you. We just, we understand you think this means something. We love you fully, wholeheartedly. It's little parenting stuff that I've learned from other great parents over the years, members of our community success circles and more. So, it's simple. I'm going to invite you to start making bold, unreasonable requests. So in our community success circles or the momentum team, excuse me, I'm saying my throat. We invite members to live boldly, make bold requests. That is a request of someone that for you is comfortable, not necessarily for them, but it's a request on them to support you in some way, or to perhaps provide you something in some way that you feel might be illogical. And I'm not telling you to do something crazy, but it's like simple as asking for an upgrade, free upgrade to something. When you start noticing yourself doing that, making those requests, you get used to it, and it becomes a lot easier to ask of others. And a key to business is leverage, is focusing on your strengths on an ongoing basis, realizing what your strengths are. Do Strengths Finder, you can do Enneagram Disc. There are a bunch of tests out there. A lot of them are free. Realizing what your strengths are and finding ways to leverage, to ask others to support you, building a team. However, to do that, it takes the willingness to ask. It takes the willingness to let go. It also takes the opportunity of realizing, what are you tolerating in life? So one thing we do in success circles too is we ask members, so what do you tolerate? What do you tolerate each day? And it could be clutter in your space, your environment, let's say. So if you have 3 coffee mugs out, or you've got papers on one side of the room, you're used to that. And as we go from one environment to environment, we're used to that kind of same level of clutter. Now, it could be, what if you could hire someone? So I have a sort of service called TaskRabbit. I hire a TaskRabbit that comes over to my office every couple of weeks to organize. I've outsourced that, and it allows me to invest my time onto other activities that are more important. But originally, it took me a while. I wasn't raised to ask people. I was raised to, okay, we get to do it all yourself. And I made a choice of being an engineer and realizing I could fix about anything. That when you become a business owner, you've got to put on this visionary hat, and to really put on that hat fully and inspire your team members, it's letting go. It's realizing all the things you're tolerating, and allowing your team to support you in succeeding, so we're all thriving together. So simple lessons today. So I hope you got tremendous value out of this. If you can live boldly each day, it'll take you to the next level. I promise you that. And if you want support around this, check out Success Circles. We're a peer community, peer-based community, peer momentum community. And it's like having your own advisory board. It's like having a buddy by your side, an accountability partner who's pushing you and inspiring you to be the best version of yourself. Knowing that the more you win, the more we win, the more he wins, the more she wins, the more we all win. And it's that simple. Some little side story. I wasn't going to share this, but my parents came to this country 47, 48 years ago. My mom came here first, and she was a nurse. And during the 1960s, there was a demand for nurses in this country, particularly during the Vietnam War. So my mom was able to come here, immigrate here to Canada, and eventually she brought my dad here. And they had the courage, the vision to bring their family here, knowing that as a village, we can thrive even more. So my dad brought most of his siblings here. My mom brought her brothers here also. And over the years, I've seen our family evolve, grow, living in our house in some cases, to building their own nests, to having kids and grandkids. And we have quite a few people in this country at this point, after 40 some years. But it took boldness, it took a lot of courage to be able to do that. And I find that way back then there were less distractions of sorts. We have a lot of distractions from our way. So it's important that you embrace some of the lessons we've been teaching about focus, moving things forward, and having a vision for yourself. It took a lot of courage for my parents to do what they did. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for those decisions in this country of abundance and less lack. They had so much lack living in a challenging environment in India. A lot of stories that go around that. So I'm sure your parents or grandparents, you might have heard similar stories of that sort. There are lessons that are there. So go out and learn from those lessons and ask them, and find ways to now, pay it forward, leaving a legacy of your own, because I promise you that the more courageous you can be, the people around you will mirror that behavior, including your own kids if you have children, or co-workers or colleagues. So live a little more courageously, because it's an opportunity for you to give back, because others around you will now be courageous themselves too. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. Tomorrow is about completion. So join us there, 5daythrive.com, if you want to join us for the next series. And check out Success Circles. It's a small investment. It's a cup of coffee a day, maybe even less. And you get yourself a momentum buddy for 2 weeks at a time, who's a step or two ahead of you, supporting you on your journey to be successful, to be awesome, to be exceptionally courageous, to win the game of life, work, and play. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for playing with us today. Cheers.